Hi everyone, welcome back to Chops Garage. It's Saturday, let's catch up on what's going on. So the little Chevy Spark we sold has come back from its MOT, passed that, advisory free, no problem at all. So that is going to get a quick wipe down and clean from being down the MOT station, and then that's being picked up I think later in the week on Tuesday. Driven the Discovery solid for a week with no problems at all, so I cleaned it, photographed it, put it up for sale. I've got it dirty again because I took it out one more time, so I've got to give it a wipe down, so that's ready for any potential viewings. I'll put it up, offered as a trade sale or as a retail sale. People can decide how they want to buy it. We have the RAV4 to clean up and get photographs, so we can put that up for sale today. Now notice behind the RAV4 we have the Peugeot. Now what was there before was the red diesel Polo. That has now gone down for a fresh MOT, but we're also doing the cam belt on it. Now, that car sold yesterday, but it wasn't without drama. So, here's the story. Familiar story in this game, but you guys like to hear these stories, so I like to tell them. So on Monday, I got a call about the red Polo 1.4 diesel 2015 I had in the corner here. Lady, interested in seeing it. Asked a load of questions about it. One which was including, has the cam belt been done, which I couldn't remember having checked it, so I checked it out and found it hadn't. Checked with my guys about pricing and decided I'd get the cam belt done. If someone paid me asking price, I'd get the cam belt done and a service done. It wasn't due a service yet on the oil and filters, but I get it all done in one go, which is, you know, retail wise probably £600 worth of work easily, if not more, £700 worth of work. So decided to get that done. So yeah, spoke to this lady on the Monday, really interested in the car. She didn't know when she could come and see it, if she'd come and see it, if she was absolutely 100% interested or not, so she'd give me a ring back. So when she gave me a ring back was on the Wednesday, I think. She gave me a ring back. Said, had I checked about the cam belt, because I hadn't actually at the time we had the conversation. So let her know I had, and I was happy to do that in a price. And she asked me a few more questions and then said that she was arranging to try and come and see it on Saturday. So that'll be today. And again, she'd get back to me later on it. Had I had any interest? And I said, well, I've had a few people messaging me, call me on it, but you never know which one of them is going to come off. You know, until it's sold, it's not sold, is it? She went, I understand that, no problem. I work at garage as well. No problem at all. So, okay. She then rang me back on I think it was the Thursday, to say that she would be coming on Sunday, and I asked to take her number so I could give her a call in case anything changed. Come and see it on the Saturday, and I asked to take her number in case anything changed in between. I could give her a bell to know. Yeah, no problem at all. So then, on Friday, a lady who I'd spoken to before, who said she absolutely had to have a 5-door car, turned up and said she'd seen the Polo, which was a 3-door, and said, oh, you didn't call me on the Polo. I said, well, you said you needed a 5-door. She said, no, I think I can actually cope with a 3-door. That's got quite big doors on it, and the boot's the right size, and because it's 0 road tax and good fuel economy, that would be perfect for me. I said, yeah, no problem at all. So she looked round it, took it for a test drive, came back and said, yeah, I'd like that. She's got a Toyota Yaris to part exchange in. I know a lot of you viewers love Toyota Yaris's, and I like them too, so it should be a nice bit of stock. 2013 with 87,000 miles on, but a full Toyota history. Really nice condition, nice white alloys to work. So yeah, I should be retailing that. So we agreed a deal on it, and she put a deposit down. Took a large deposit down. No, I only normally take £100 holding deposit, but it is non-refundable if you ask me to take the car off of sale. It's non-refundable unless I do something to change the deal. It's non-refundable because otherwise I'll be turning away other sales. So I took a bit of a larger one, took £250 because we're doing the cam belt and getting MOT specifically for her. So that's all good. So of course I picked up the phone and I rang the other lady to say, unfortunately the car is sold. I didn't get her, I got voicemail. Unfortunately the car is sold. Obviously didn't when you're travelling up on Saturday, the car's now sold. So I then got a phone call back, and you're probably guessing it by now, I got a right earful. Apparently I was bang out of order for selling the car. I knew she was coming up on Saturday to see the car. She'd arranged for somebody to have childcare to enable them to drive her up to have a look at the vehicle. And it was, in this day and age, with people being so busy, I was bang out of order having sold the car because she couldn't make it up till Saturday. She worked through the week. She wasn't able to come up here till Saturday. That was the only time she could make it up here. And I said, look, I apologise you're disappointed, but unfortunately I'm in the business of selling cars, and unless a car has a deposit put on it, it's always up for sale. And she said, well, you didn't tell me I could have done that. I said, well, I told you that I'd ring you if the situation changed in between. You asked me if I had other people that were interested in viewing. I thought it was kind of obvious if you wanted to hold the car, you were going to need to put a deposit down on it. I said, but it would have been non-refundable anyway because I'd have been turning away other sales. And she said, oh, no, I wouldn't have done that. I said, well, that's the thing. If you want someone to hold a car for you, I said, all due respect, you could have rang me on Saturday morning and said to me, do you know what, I can't make it up today for whatever reason, and I would have turned away the lady that I saw today. So I'd have, lost a sale and still be sat there with the car. I said, I'm here to sell cars at the end of the day. Like I say, so until a car is sold, it is for sale. Oh, well, I won't be looking at any more cars on your website, And then the absolute clincher for me was, she said, that's the second time that's happened to me this week. So, one, it's already happened to you before a car was sold that you wanted to. So you were looking at my car. One would have thought at this point, you'd say, is there a way of me holding the vehicle to make sure that I can have it? And secondly, even when you were ringing me on the Monday, clearly if it's happened to you this week, you're already looking at other vehicles as well. So you could well have ended up buying that vehicle and not ended up coming to see mine at all. So the door is, as always, entirely one way. I should sit on the vehicles on someone's word to say they're going to come and see it with no deposit, while they continue to shop for other vehicles and have the freedom to pull out without any penalisation. You've got to love the public. You really have got to love the public. Anybody who watches my channel knows that I pride myself on fairness, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make a living. I cannot hold vehicles for weeks on end on the basis that someone might turn up. They've got to be for sale until someone actually puts their hand in their pocket. So anyway, comment down below. Perhaps some of you think I'm out of order. I'll be interested to hear. How do you think maybe I should have handled it differently? It's I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure you can't go onto Cazoo and find a vehicle you like and then type into the computer, please hold it until my father-in-law's brother can drop me off on Saturday to have a look at it. You either buy it or you don't, presumably. I've not actually gone through the process. But and I'm pretty sure you can't even do that with a pizza at Sainsbury's. If you want to buy it, you've got to buy it. If I want to go and get something from Halfords, if they've got a tool in that I need and it's on the shelf to reserve it, I have to pay for it in full, don't I? Then I can go and pick it up. There's not even an option of leaving a little deposit on it. I've got to pay it in full. So anyway, there you go. Well, I say, comment down below if you feel differently. I'd be interested to hear. Now, we have had another new piece of stock in, so let's go and take a look at that. So I purchased this one. I haven't seen it. It was dropped off yesterday, end of the day. I didn't have a chance to have a good look around it. It's a 2012. It's looks like an Active with the alloys, the colour-coded wing mirrors and bumpers, because obviously these can be quite poverty spec. It's looking like, I think this model is called the Active, if I remember correctly. We've got 2 keys and 2 fobs, which is nice. Let's have a look inside. Well, have a quick look on the outside, bodywork wise. Difficult to say, needs a good clean, but I'm not seeing any dents. Maybe a little one just there. Little touch of a paint needed on the corner down there. You don't want to go too crazy with these. They're budget cars. People won't thank you for going crazy doing all of the paint work and then hiking the price up. They want the best price they can get on it. It all looks good along here. Wing mirror needs a little bit of a buff and a touch up. Like I say, you need to know what cars to spend the time on and what cars not to spend the time on. So obviously you don't want any major damage, but you also don't want to go crazy making it absolute perfection, because like I say, no one will pay the money for it. Right, looks like it needs a really good clean. Inside, all round electric windows, electric mirrors, we like that. Got some paperwork there. I'll make sure I turn it over so we don't show up to anybody. Everything in here just needs a really good clean. It's got the auxiliary input and USB input, which we need. It's got the air con. Mileage is, oh, blowers on. Only 51,000 miles on a 2012. I think that will have this at about 3,995, something like that, I imagine. Idling nicely, settles down right, so I've listened to it from the outside. Sounding very i10-ish. Keep that door open, we don't want it to lock itself on us, do we? That all sounds fine. Rev's happy enough. So quick run around the car park, see how we're with the gears and the clutch. Biting point is sort of the bottom half. The cables can get a little grabby on these because they literally are just a cable running in a sheath, so as they get older they can get a bit rusty and the clutches get a little, not the clutch itself, just the cable gets a bit grabby, so sometimes a new clutch is advantageous. I think this one will be alright actually. I went into first okay there. Oh, a little knock there as we hit the concrete, so I suspect we need a track rod end or a drop link. Yeah, going into the gears okay. Obviously we take them for a longer road test, don't we? But I've driven that many i10s now, you don't need to see a road test on an i10. Not happy I haven't got my seatbelt on. Yeah, definitely a little knock from the suspension there, and it's coming from the end side of things, if that makes sense. It's not the spring or the shock, so it's going to just be a drop link. Done a few drop links on these. Yeah, all seems good. Like I say, I'll get a longer test drive. Service history wise, I don't seem to have much here. I've got the handbook, but the person I bought it from sometimes has a service history separately, because I haven't got the V5 yet either. So we'll have to see when we get that, see if there's any history. This is one of the few cars I probably would buy quite happily without service history, because I just know them so well now. And like I say, I've sold them with 130 odd thousand miles on without any problems, so I don't worry about it so much on these. So yeah, should be a nice little car, that at right price point in the current market. There's always people with sub 5k looking for small little runabouts, so we'll give it a good clean up, see how it looks after that. I don't think it's going to need paint, it just needs a really good clean up. Get it down, get a fresh MOT on it, get that drop link sorted, whatever it is, give it a service, and then she'll be ready to go. So if you're interested how I get on with that and all of my other cars, and hear about the day-to-day running of a small car business, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Costs you nothing, just lets you know when the latest videos are out and really helps support the channel. If you enjoyed it, also please give the video a thumbs up, because that will recommend it to other people who have similar interests as yours. As always, massive thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.